Yo, what's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. APW Sports signing in, and Super Bowl 59 is upon us. We have the AFC champion Kansas City Chiefs taking on the NFC champion Philadelphia Eagles as we get a Super Bowl 57 rematch of these two football teams. A lot has changed between that Super Bowl and now. It's time to preview and give my predictions of what I think is going to happen. Before I get into that, we know the news, and this is coming out a day later, but as today, as I'm recording this video, I would like to say my prayers and condolences to the Virginia Hallis McCaskey family, as she, the owner of my team, the Chicago Bears, passed away today at the age of 102. So I would like to send my thoughts, prayers, and condolences to all that are affected, former players, Bears players now, us Bears fans. Just send my love, prayers, and condolences to anyone that is affected by this. She was a pioneer in women's ownership in sports, as she heralded the Bears from her late father, Papa Bear, George Hallis. She lived a great life, 102 years old. Now, I'm probably going to do a video later on as of where the team is going to go from there, or direction of anything like that. But a sad day for us Bears fans in the NFL community, as the matriarch of the Chicago Bears has passed away at 102 years old. What a great life. And to think her last game of the Chicago Bears seeing was the Bears beating the Packers in the heated rivalry. So she got to see that before God called her home. Sad day for us Bears fans. But as we move on to the Super Bowl, we are going to get into this Philadelphia Eagles offense going up against this Kansas City Chiefs defense. I think the one thing that is different about this Philadelphia Eagles team, and I think the main thing, to be honest, the main thing that's different is Saquon Barkley. His ability to run the football versus Miles Sanders and Gainwell and the guys that they had maybe 2 years ago. It's a drastically different running game, as in Saquon Barkley is a very dynamic running back. To be honest, that is basically has been a game changer for this Philadelphia Eagles offense. And I'm recording this before the NFL awards, just to let you guys know. So I'm not sure if he's going to win MVP or not, but he's definitely in that discussion, or extra for 2,000 yards in the season that he had. I think that has been the biggest difference in the Eagles' offensive success versus 2 years ago when the Eagles ended up making the Super Bowl. The defensive units for the Chiefs, for the most part, I'm not going to say all, the big names, whether we're talking about Karlaftis, who is a very productive player, Chris Jones, we know he's one of the best defensive tackles that we have in football. Nick Bolton at the linebacker position has been playing some really good football. But I think a key to this game for the Philadelphia Eagles offense versus this Chiefs defense is, number one, can they stay out of those third and long packages? As we know, a defensive mind like Steve Spagnuolo, the defensive coordinator of the Kansas City Chiefs, when he brings the blitz, he brings a ton. Now, he is facing a different type of quarterback in Jalen Hurts, who I think is getting healthier from that knee injury. With the running game of the Philadelphia Eagles and how strong that offensive line is, led by Jurgens, Dickerson, Mailata, Mekhi Becton, who has been a very good addition from them this offseason. And then you have Lane Johnson, who I think is the best right tackle in football. This offensive line and the running game of Saquon Barkley, I think could be a big difference if the Eagles were able to pull off this win versus the Chiefs being able to slow down and run. Because when we launched that AFC Championship game, the Bills had success running the football with James Cook. And James Cook is a very good running back in his own right, but I don't think he's the game-changing back that Saquon Barkley is. And the offensive line that the Philadelphia Eagles possess is a very dominant one. But I think the passing game of the Philadelphia Eagles is going to be a big thing that we're going to look out for. Can Jalen Hurts spread the weapons to Brown, spread the weapons to Devonta Smith, Dallas Goedert, who I think is a very good tight end? So I think the passing game for this Philadelphia Eagles offense is going to have to live up to what they did in the NFC Championship game against the Washington Commanders, with Jalen Hurts being able to throw the football. And also Jalen Hurts' legs. I know that was a thing to watch out for in the past Super Bowl. But when you're talking about pairing Barkley along with Jalen Hurts' legs, and if he's healthy, I think that makes a big difference versus what the Eagles had in that first Super Bowl matchup versus what they have now with Saquon Barkley. I think if they are able to get the running game going, as we're talking about the Eagles, I think that sets up so much of what they can do. That gives them those shorter third downs, which kind of disables the ability of Steve Spagnuolo to bring some of those blitz packages, especially in a situation like that, when you're facing maybe a 3rd and 3, 3rd and 2, those short yardage third down situations. I think if the Eagles are able to position themselves to get in those short third downs, I think that kind of narrows down what the Kansas City Chiefs are able to do as far as the blitz packages on the defensive side of the ball, and can cook McDuffie, who I think has had a really solid, excellent season. Can they hold up a coverage against these Eagles wide receivers, which A.J. Brown is a game changer. When Devonta Smith is healthy and he's playing at the best of his ability, I think if Devonta Smith is able to have a very good football game, that is going to be a game changer because of the way that they can spread up, where A.J. Brown can kind of dominate and Dallas Goedert. And if Devonta Smith gets involved to a point where you have to coverage him too, I think there's going to be a big difference in this ball game.
Today's video is brought to you by ExpressVPN. For me, it is very important to have a VPN to protect my online privacy. It'd be very, very creepy if there was someone out there who kept a log of every single thing that you did online. So why let your internet provider really do that to you online? The best thing to do is to get yourself a VPN, and why not go with ExpressVPN, the best VPN available. Personally, I like it for the fact that you can unlock Netflix shows that you do not get in the US market. Now, one show that I've started to get myself into is Brooklyn Nine-Nine. You search Brooklyn Nine-Nine in the US, doesn't come up, but you can switch your location to Canada and you can research Brooklyn Nine-Nine again, and bam, it pops up right then and there, and you can catch up on your episodes of Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Now, if you click the link in the description below, you will get 3 free months of ExpressVPN. Just by clicking the link below and you sign up today, you will get 3 months free of ExpressVPN. All you have to do is click the link down below and you will get ExpressVPN. Now, let's just get back to the video.
Now we have Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs offense going against, I think, one of the best defenses, if not the best defensive football in the Philadelphia Eagles. Now, the one thing that the Chiefs have benefited from, and besides the refs, is the fact that, number one, Hollywood Brown has come back into this lineup and made himself a presence. Juju Smith-Schuster, we've seen, has had some very productive games. Xavier Worthy is starting to get better down the line late in the season. And Kareem Hunt and Isaiah Pacheco in their running game has been a good factor for this Kansas City Chiefs offense. Now, we know moving Joe Thuney to left tackle has been a big difference. Creed Humphrey in the interior playing center has been good. Trey Smith at right guard has been good. But I think they're going up against a very talented Eagles defensive front with Jalen Carter, who has been very explosive. I think he's starting to get better late in the year. Jordan Davis has made impact. Nolan Smith Jr. has been very good coming off of the edge. The 3 Georgia boys, Davis, Carter, and also Smith Jr. And Zack Baun at the middle linebacker, the interior of this defense, has been playing some extremely excellent football. Now, DeAndre Hopkins, I think, is going to be a bit of an X factor too. If he's able to get involved, I think that's going to open up so much. If he's able to get open. Now, we have the corners of Quinion Mitchell and also Cooper DeJean. Both of the rookie corners have been playing some really good football. C.J. Gardner-Johnson. Darius, big play slate, which he's been very good. And Josh Sweat, I think, is going to be one of those X factors. If he's able to get after the quarterback, if he's able to make a difference in this ball game, I think that is huge for this Philadelphia Eagles defense going up against Andy Reid's scheme in his Chiefs offense. Now, one thing you're going to have to be accounted for when we're talking about the Kansas City Chiefs offense is Patrick Mahomes' ability to move outside of the pocket and make plays outside of the pocket. And the one thing that this Eagles defense is going to have to do is that they're going to have to be disciplined. And you're going to have to be disciplined in your coverage because Patrick Mahomes is one of those guys that can throw the ball and make plays throwing the ball with his legs as well as running the football. Now, I think this Eagles defense does have good team speed as far as rallying around to the football, being very physical up front, and I think slowing down this run game, even though this run game has not been as successful because of the injuries, but Pacheco is back along with Hunt. I think if you're able to slow down this run game, which is harder, easier said than done, and it sounds kind of crazy for me to talk about, oh, make Patrick throw the ball. But I think the Eagles secondary has the tutelage and has the pieces to be able to hold themselves in coverage when Patrick Mahomes is scrambling around with his legs. So, like I said, Patrick Mahomes' legs is a big key. Slowing down the running game for the Eagles is a big key. And when we're talking about this Kansas City Chiefs offensively, Travis Kelce, we know Travis Kelce is basically the guy for them to slow down. And if you're able to kind of minimize him a bit, minimize the running game, and make Mahomes spread out to those weapons with those corners, Mahomes is Mahomes, I think you have a bit of a better shot to win, as crazy as that sounds. Because if this Chiefs offense is balanced, it's going to be a hard offense to stop. You have to make them one-dimensional some way, somehow. And I think the Chiefs, we all know that we were crushing them all season, but they've been continuing to win games. Offensively, they've been productive, especially as of late in the playoffs, and they make those drives to really kind of close games and end games with victories. And I think the Eagles' defense is probably one of the best defenses that they've seen. I think it's the best that the Chiefs have seen all season long. Even when we're talking about Buffalo, even when we're talking about Baltimore, I still think this Eagles defense presents problems, especially in the interior of their defensive line with Davis and Carter and the secondary. I think they possess problems that the Chiefs have not seen, but we all know Andy Reid can scheme so much around it. I just really believe that an X factor, if Xavier Worthy can really use his speed to kind of get open against this Eagles defense. Another thing for this Eagles defense that they have to get concerned themselves with, like I said, is Travis Kelce, but are they able to get pressure on Mahomes and get him to the ground? That is going to be key because we know Mahomes can escape tackles. Are they going to be able to get him to the ground, present the Chiefs with those long third downs, make the Chiefs play from behind the sticks? If they're able to make the Chiefs play a little bit from behind the sticks, make them convert longer and keep converting those longer third downs, you give themselves a better chance of winning this ball game if you get pressure on Mahomes to get him to the ground. Like, it's easier said than done. We've seen it. But it's just with this Eagles defense and the way that it can create pressure, the way they like to get after people with Blankenship at that safety position, who has been playing some really solid football for them ever since getting himself inserted into the starting lineup. I just personally believe if you're able to, number one, slow down the running game a bit and make them a bit one-dimensional, force them to continually throw the ball, which is something that they don't like to do, especially as in this season, as they ran the football a bit more than what we've seen in years past. The explosive plays have not been there as much as we've seen in years past. And the Eagles defensively had the ability to limit some of those explosive plays if the Chiefs try to push the ball a bit down the field more than what they're accustomed to. So I think if they try to push the ball down the field a bit, I think that plays a little bit into the Eagles' hands. But with all that said, I am going to roll with in this ball game is going to be, I am going to roll with the Philadelphia Eagles in this ball game. I'm rooting for the Philadelphia Eagles. I'll be honest to you guys. I'm one of those guys that I don't like the way the media does the Chiefs. I don't. I'll be honest, I don't. But we all know the Chiefs are a good football team. But I am going to roll. I think the Eagles and Saquon Barkley will be the biggest X factor in this ball game. And I think the Eagles win this game 27-24. I personally think that, like I said, Saquon Barkley, I think is going to be the biggest difference, and that they're able to run the football, and Jalen Hurts with his legs, with the tush push, that is going to be a big difference from the way the Eagles offensively can operate. And then when we're talking about the Eagles on the defensive side of the ball, the Chiefs are not a very explosive offense. That could kind of condense the safeties, which the Eagles have some very good safeties with C.J. Gardner-Johnson and Reid Blankenship. So you're not too much worried about the explosive play when we're talking about Mahomes and his offense, even though you have the defender gets it. But I think they have the secondary that's going to be able to make some plays, get some turnovers, and make a big difference in this ball game. Even though the Chiefs are going for a three-peat and it will be historic to see, I personally believe, and it's not just me, my kind of dislike for the Chiefs speaking, I just believe the way this Eagles team has been playing on both sides of the ball is different from that Super Bowl. Different running game, different defense, different style of defense with Vic Fangio, and I think they make enough plays, and I think they make that key turnover to win this game, 27-24, and I'm picking the Eagles as a Super Bowl chance. But that's all I have. Leave you guys' thoughts and picks in the comments down below, and I will catch you guys later. Peace.